Hello my fellow future welders, this is video number 3 and today we're just going to talk about the setup of the TIG. This is a 240 volt single phase 200 amp AC DC TIG. Let's get it turned on. It's power weld. So you've got your AC DC, we're on DC right there. So that's on AC. We've got your latch for your trigger, so it's on at the minute 1 hour down and 1 hour up, so that is I keep my finger on the button and then when I let go, that's when it turns off. And the other one, the up, double down, so I've put it onto that, then I press it and it comes on, and I press it and it goes off. So that's that, but it won't be activated until we're arced up on some steel. Normally, I am going to repair this in my next video. It's cheap, crappy metal, what's sheared off. It's a drive for a little quad, I think a cheap Chinese quad. So anyway, what else we've got? We'll just go through the TIG. So we've got, that's a gas test. Turn that off. That's what we're on now. High frequency. So you've got your, this is high frequency. So when you arc up, it jumps across to the metal like a bolt of lightning. So the other alternatives are a scratch start TIG, which is like a stick welder, like a lift arc. So you put your arc on the metal and lift it off, or just scratch it and it arcs up, but this jumps across like a bolt of lightning. So let's have a look what settings we've got. So we've got, this is your pre-flow gas. Hold on. So this is your pre-flow gas. So it's how many seconds do you want gas to come out for? Before it sounded like it actually. I've got about 12 litres a minute coming out. So like I said, so that's a pre-flow gas. See, I missed that one because that's like 0. Can you see this? Let me see. Yeah. So that's, now this is our slow put power. So it's going to start from nothing and build up to your current. So let's have a look. We'll slow put. There's a slow put. I'm going to let it slow put for 1 second. That's a long time, but I'm just doing it for an example. See how it like slowly builds up. Let's have a look. So that's a slow put power. That, yeah. So that's our current. This is what we're going to be welding with. So I can either turn it up and down on here. Can you see that? Yeah. Let me just get comfortable. That's better. So we can either turn it up and down on there, or on the, this is a power weld. The brand is power weld. Like I said in the past video, this is an active workshop. So everything's used, nothing's brand new just for the video. It's all in use. So yeah. So this button here is to start the power. But these two here, hold on, I like this. So you got, press it once, and you're going up one at a time. Keep your finger on it, and you'll go up 10 at a time. Same way down, press it once down, or keep your finger on it, and it'll go down 10 at a time. Which I like that. But I was teaching someone how to TIG, and while they were TIGging, they had the thumb on there, not knowing that they were turning the power up as they're doing it, like that. So that's something to watch out for. And then, so this is our power. You can have your background currents, which is this one, and you've got pulses, there's different settings, but don't need to get into that. So this is where we are, where we're welding, and then that's a slope down. So when you're sloping down, so you don't get a pin dot in the weld pool at the end of the weld. And especially like when you're working on products, dairies, breweries, on pipe work, on dairy pipe, if you get a pinprick, just a tiniest little pinprick, 1mm, half millimetre, you get bacteria in there, and then it contaminates the system, the whole brew, the whole dairy, what's going through it at the minute. So this is why you've got slope down, and then you've got a post flow gas. So on slope down power, say it misses that because that's just nothing, that's off. And then this is your post flow gas, because as your weld is cooling, you still need gas. What gas we got there? So that's like a second. AC balance. Alright. That's your high frequency. Right, so post flow gas. We don't really need a lot of post flow gas. Pre-flow gas, sorry. But your post flow gas is more important for, like I say, for when you're sloping down. And then that stays on. So that stayed on for half a second. Sometimes it could be a bit longer. Yeah, do you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it on the video. It stays on a bit longer at the end. And if you notice that, it went 1.6, 1.4, and that was your gas. So as it was going through its motions. You've got the MMA, manual metal arc. I don't actually know what them buttons are for. That's not even coming on. So there's your pulse. So this pulse here, up and down, like this is your pulse setting. So you'll have your high power on your pulse, and then you'll have your low power on your pulse. There. Oh, this one here, let me just go back to it. So these are your time gaps. How long it's staying on your high power, how long the overall wave is, and then it goes to your low power. So we turn a low power to just say 60, and this is for, if you want, you can use it for a few things, but when you want high power, and say you're welding some thin material, you can have it on high power, and then it'll cool it down so your material's not getting too hot. Then high power, there's many uses. So let me turn that off. Let's have a look at the torch. So this one here is the fitting for the torch. I've left the earth out for the minute. Oh, another important thing to point out with the TIG welder. So look, so you've got, they're quite complex, but what we're going to do is, I may as well leave that out, because we're going to replace it with a different one in a minute, which is the foot pedal. So it's the same fitting. So it's the same fitting, but this is the foot pedal. We'll go through that in a minute. Like I said, we'll just have a look at the torch. So when we're on DC, generally, we use a certain type of tungsten. Let's strip this torch down. So this long bit is just because your tungstens are long. You've got your shroud, your porcelain shroud, and that's just keep your gas in, keeps it all like tight, airtight. So you've got another, that's another bit. So your tungsten goes in, I'm going to call it the tungsten holder, and for DC, for stainless steel aluminium, you have a point on it. Can you see the point on the end? I generally sharpen both ends. That's my little tip. Instead of just sharpening one end and then going to have to sharpen it again when it goes blunt, sharpen both ends and just turn it round. I taught that to my friend, my Iranian friend, who I used to work with. He thought that was a good tip. So you've got your adapter, your holes for your gas again, just like the MIG in the last video. But on this, you don't have no wire coming out. So that goes in first, your adapter, and it hasn't got anything for a spanner, it's just got the grips for the finger tight. So that just needs to be finger tight. Your tungsten slides in and out of that. Let's put the sharp end. Put the sharp end in. So that goes in there. This retains it all together, and it's got rubber seals for the gas, so the gas can't escape. So that goes on there. But you tighten that, and then you can't pull your tungsten out. It like by loosening that, you can change the length of that, how far you want it out. So let's get them two back on. These are two separate bits. All right, looks, yeah, these are two separate bits. That goes there, and then that goes there. But by tightening that, you can no, sorry. We've got the black bit loose, and I generally have the tungsten sticking out about, depends on the job really, but that's about 8mm. That'll do for now. So that's that. That's the torch, which is, so you've got a gas pipe in here, and then your electric wires. So that's all what's in that. And then on the foot pedal, which when I plug it in, in fact, let's plug it in. Let's turn it on and plug it in. That's to the bottom, that's to the top. One more. Where are you? There, that's it. So on the foot pedal, now the button doesn't work, because we've taken the wires out. That's on the torch, so that doesn't, so these buttons don't work at all now. And if you notice on the TIG, it just says 10 amps. Now on the foot pedal, you've got this button. Turn that way, which means I can max out at 200 amps. So that's maxing out at 200. And if I turn it down, right, so I've turned it all the way down, I can't go past 10. So if we just have it halfway, my max, I can't slip. I can't slip and go over 72. So now this is like a backstop, and the foot pedal acts just like a car accelerator. So I can put 15 amps on. I love using the foot pedal. You can totally control your amperage like that, all the way to my backstop, which is set at 99 there. So let's turn it up to 200, and then again, you know, I can go backwards, I can go forwards. So it's more complicated with the foot pedal, but once you've grasped it, I like to use the foot pedal all the time. So that's that. So on the foot pedal, oh, that's on AC. We're on AC now. So if we was going to use AC, we need to change the tungsten. So nothing else on the torch has to change, but I get that out. That needs some. Right. So these, let me just bear with me a second. Where are the tungstens? Right, the tungstens. So what happens? Look at the difference in these. So this is generally used. The one what's in the torch now is generally used for on DC for stainless steel, mild steel, and other exotic metals. But generally, I only do stainless steel and mild steel on DC. I don't do any other metals. And then on the AC, we have these bigger shrouds, but they also have a different tungsten. That one, the setup's just about the same, but it's just got a bigger gas disperser on this. I'll show you. So if you see, and that looks all blocked up, to be honest. The gas comes out there, that's like a mesh. Oh, it's coming out the side. Anyway, so it's a lot bigger setup, and they've got bigger tungstens.